Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Trick Wallace here. We got another great eShop deals video for you. This one is going to focus on games that are $5-ish or less. First of all, we actually have a really rare deal. In fact, it's so rare that this is the first time it has ever gone on sale. This is Grid Retro Enhanced. It is 80% off, bringing it down to $2.39. That is its lowest price ever and its only sale ever. This game originally came out in 2018. So yeah, years and years with no sales, and out of nowhere we get this one. Not a ton of reviews for this, but the Switch version, all three outlets that did review it came right around about an 8 for it. And the Steam reviews are solid too. It basically kind of looks like a cross between Star Fox and something like Wipeout, with a really cool retro 80s aesthetic. I like the way it looks. I think for $2, I think that this might be a really big hidden gem. And who knows if this publisher will go another 4 or 5 years with no sales. So if you want to try it and roll the dice and see if it's any good, now's the time to do it. And this one does end on the 21st, so you only have a few days, so make a decision. Next we have Rustler. Rustler is hitting by far its lowest price ever, 90% off, bringing it down to $2.99. I hesitated on including this one because it has very mixed reviews, but for some people it seems to run hot, some people it seems to run cold. This is basically, and it's in its own words, it is medieval GTA. Now when I say GTA, I mean GTA 2 style top-down view. It basically is exactly that. It apparently has a very immature and grotesque sort of sense of humor, which seemed to turn off some reviewers, and then other reviewers are quite okay with that. Seems like it's a little clunky in some ways, but again, this is really cheap for it. I think for this price, there are going to be some people who are curious enough to just go ahead and try it out and see if it scratches that GTA old school itch. Void Prison is also on sale, getting its first ever sale. So it is at its lowest price ever for only $2. That is 33% off. This is a really nice looking, simple twin stick shooter. Haven't personally got to try this one out, but the Steam reviews seem pretty darn solid. And I'm always on the lookout for what will be my next toilet time game. I just like a game that lets me jump in, enjoy 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay, and get out. So I'm thinking about picking this one up. Again, from what I hear, it sounds like it is pretty decent at what it does. Wave-based shooting with some fun power-ups. Should be some simple fun for fans of the genre. Siberian, the time-traveling warrior, is back on sale, matching its previous low, 60% off for $1.99. Ratalaika has a lot of pixel-based platformer action games. I just happen to think that Siberian is one of the better ones in their catalog. You play as a barbarian brought forward through time to take on all kinds of crazy baddies in a nice neon 80s soaked infused background. I really enjoy the combat in this one. It has a sort of rhythm-based attack where if you can time your 3 sword slashes in the right way, you can get more attack power out of them. Kind of hard to describe, but think something sort of like the Gears of War active reload, but apply that to the sword slashing. Planet Alpha from Team 17 is back on sale again. This one is 80% off, matching its previous low for only $1.99. This one goes on sale very often, but it has been well over 2 years since it has hit this previous low price. This is just a really cool cinematic platformer where you are marooned upon an alien world. The big gimmick with this one is that you will eventually gain the ability to change the day and night cycle, and this is required to change the environment around you. Maybe it will cause certain things to bloom and grow so you can climb on them. It might change enemy behavior, so on and so forth. But it's a really beautiful platformer on the Switch. Definitely recommend it, especially for only $2. If you're looking for a platformer though that's got a lot of difficult meat on the bone, you might want to try out Super Magbot, also from Team 17. It is currently 75% off for $2.49. This is a precision platformer, but the unique gimmick with this one is that your character actually cannot jump at all. Rather, he can change his magnetic polarity, which will either push or pull him towards or away from different paths all along these platforming levels. So it's got a pretty steep learning curve, but it's one of those games that once you get your head around it, it is super addictive to be flying through these levels using the power of magnets. Thankfully, this one does have a demo if you want to try it out first, but again, I think for such a cheap price, any platformer fan, especially those of precision platformers, will really get a kick out of this one. Rock of Ages 3 Make and Break is hitting its lowest price ever for only $2.99. That is a full 90% off. This one used to go on sale pretty darn often, but for about the last year and a half, it's been a little more sparse. But basically, this is a game where you will be rolling boulders through obstacle courses that your opponents will set up, and you're trying to make it to their castle. This one can be played with up to 4 people competitively. It's got a really goofy sort of Monty Python style sense of humor. So if you're a fan of rolling ball games, and yes, I am a big fan of any game that lets me fiddle around with rolling ball mechanics, then I think you would definitely want to check out Rock of Ages 3. Cyberhook is hitting its lowest price ever, 80% off, bringing it down to only $2.99. This is a 3D precision platformer with movement based on momentum and a grappling hook. So you're going to be making your way through these floating 3D environments, swinging your way as fast as you can. Also have a blaster on hand to shoot through any obstacles or enemies that might get in your way. This is one of those great games where I think just about anyone can get through the game, but for those who are willing to put in the extra time and really master it, then you're going to be able to post some ridiculous times of how quickly you can get through some of these levels. This would definitely be a great game for fans of speedrunning. Chroma Squad is back on sale for 65% off for $5.24. Now that does not match the previous low, but this is the lowest it has been in approximately 2 years. This is a tactical RPG basically taking place in the world of Power Rangers, or more specifically, a soundstage that is putting on a show like Power Rangers. So if you're a fan of that genre and you're a fan of that intellectual property, I think you're going to have a great time with this one. Definitely has a good amount of humor to it also. Knights of Pen and Paper Bundle is hitting its lowest price ever, 75% off, bringing it down to $5.62. This is one of my all-time favorite iPad games. I've actually never played the Switch version, but it looks exactly the same. Basically, you are playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, so you're going to see your real-life characters sitting at a table with the Dungeon Master. But in the background, you get to see the adventures playing out basically in their imaginations. It's a really simple, lightweight RPG that's really quick and easy to get into. Not too complicated, but just enough meat on the bone to still feel like you can plan things strategically. The big difference between the two entries is the first one adopts a more 8-bit art style and the second one adopts a much more 16-bit art style. Void Scrappers is on sale for 20% off, bringing it down to $3.19. This is a really cheap game to begin with, but if you are a fan of Vampire Survivors and you're still waiting for that to come to Switch, this is a pretty good option to tide you over until that happens. This is quite literally Vampire Survivors, except the Space Alien Edition. You'll be piloting your ship through these endless twin-stick environments, taking on waves and waves of baddies, and you will be constantly, and I mean constantly, getting upgrades. Perfect for the people who are addicted to the non-stop drip dopamine feed of powering up. Yoku's Island Express is 80% off for only $3.99. Make no mistake about it, this is one of my all-time favorite Metroidvanias. It mixes pinball with a Metroidvania, and it's a absolutely drop-dead, beautiful watercolor world. You're going to be playing as this little beetle and his big pinball that he pushes around, and he's actually the mailman for this island. But there's some really nefarious things happening to the island, and along his route of delivering the mail, he's also going to be trying to unwind this tangled mess that is going on. If you've been looking for a Metroidvania that allows you to really just have a big smile on your face the whole time, very relaxing, this is the one to pick up. You're going to enjoy a really solid 8 to 9 hours of wonderful, relaxing, but totally engaging Metroid fun. Going Under is back on sale, matching its previous low, only $4.99. This is a super underrated roguelike dungeon crawler. You play as the intern in a new company, and part of what you have to do for your internship is go down into the lower levels of this company where all these past ideas that have been cooked up have been left to basically rot. And you're the lowly peon who has the quest to deal with all of these forgotten business ideas. This game came out right around the same time as Hades, so I think it got really overlooked, but that's too bad because I think it is still a ton of fun, definitely for fans of the genre. Narita Boy is hitting its new lowest price ever, 80% off, bringing it down to only $4.99. This is an absolutely wild looking 80s neon infused Tron looking Metroidvania. So if you like some cinematic platforming and you enjoy sci-fi movies from the 80s and you like Metroidvania style gaming, you are gonna really have a great time with Narita Boy. Greek Memories of Azure is also hitting its lowest price ever, 70% off, bringing it down to a measly $5.99. This is an awesome action-adventure platformer that will really remind people who played The Lost Vikings of that style of gameplay. You actually have 3 main characters and you will be constantly switching between them to use their different abilities. Lots of great puzzling, lots of great combat. I think anyone who enjoys action-adventure platformers will really enjoy Greek. But there is a demo available so you can try it out for yourself to make sure it's your cup of tea. Time Lie is back on sale for 70% off, bringing it down to only $5.99. This is a stealth puzzle adventure where you control time like a media player. You will perceive the future events to plan your escape strategy from the past, sneak an enemy, and manipulate time through this companionship journey of a mysterious cat and a little girl with a precognitive power. Haven't gotten a chance to try this one out yet, but the reviews on Steam are about 1,500 reviews and they are overwhelmingly positive. So I just absolutely cannot ignore the critical acclaim for this game. It must be something really special because both users and the outlets all seem to think it's just about perfection. So if you're looking for a stealth strategy game with some time manipulation, this one seems like it would be an absolute blast for you. Picto Quest is hitting its lowest price ever, 65% off, bringing it down to $3.49. This is a really well-reviewed Picross game that has been mixed with a 16-bit style RPG adventure. Apparently it works pretty well, but wouldn't you know it, the exact same publisher has another game on sale called Pixel Cross Adventure that is also 60% off, bringing it down to its lowest price ever for $3.99. That is actually a really similar concept. It is also a Picross style game, but mixed with an RPG adventure. Strange because the developers are actually 2 different development studios, but they have the same publisher. And when you know it, if you don't want to buy them separately, you can get them in the Indie Gems Bundle Nanograms Edition. That is 75% off for only $4.24 to try out these quirky little well-reviewed Picross RPG games. Make sure you go ahead and check out the upcoming eShop deal video, which will go ahead and focus on the prices that are above $5. I can't wait to see you there. Until then, I hope you have great gaming. Bye-bye.